November 6, 1882. Outside Tombstone, Arizona Territory. Two riders. One, the notorious Kyle Dodge gang leader and killer. The other, a United States Marshal, the man responsible for escorting Kyle Dodge through Tombstone to the territorial prison at Yuma. This is the way they arrived.
$0.25 for breakfast and a nickel tip. Prices are going up and up.
There's no telling where they'll stop.
Well, there's one thing certain. If they go much higher, I'll have to ask the city council for a raise. Take it easy, Marshal.
I hope you have a nice, strong jail, Sheriff. I was ambushed a couple of miles back.
Get Doc Cunningham.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Sheriff Hollister had sent for the Tombstone physician, Doc Cunningham, to aid the dying marshal and his wounded prisoner, Kyle Dodge. Clay, this is Dr. Buell. Doc Cunningham was out on a call.
Dr. Buell. Haven't seen him in town before.
Well, he's just in town for a few days. I was lucky to get him.
Maybe, maybe not. Where'd you find him?
He came up and introduced himself. Said he heard you needed a doctor. What's eating you? You're meaner than a stepped-on rattler.
I'll tell you later.
No, there's nothing I can do about him. He's dead. I'll take a look at Dodge now. You be good enough to show the way, Sheriff?
Tell me, Doctor, how did you know that I had a wounded prisoner?
Why, that's common gossip. It's all over town.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The patient, Sheriff.
I suppose you have proof that you are a physician.
Why,
Now, wait a minute, Clay. That's going a little far, don't you think?
Well, Dr. Buell?
Well, I've never been asked to identify myself before, but as long as you insist.
The doctor volunteered his services, Clay.
All right. I'll be watching you closely.
Nice of you to drop by. I was getting lonesome.
Open that shirt. I want to get a look at that shoulder.
Sure, Doc.
How's the marshal?
Your friends did a good job.
Always said being a lawman was a dangerous profession.
Yeah. Especially when you have to worry about being shot in the back from ambush.
It's just a flesh wound. You'll live.
For a long time, I hope. There's a nice big cell waiting for you up at Yuma Penitentiary.
Talking's one thing. Getting me there's another.
You'll get there.
That's just your opinion. I got some friends who think differently. The marshal found out the hard way.
Well, your friends don't seem to have been much help so far.
I got a bad break, that's all. If it hadn't been for an accident, I'd have gotten away during the ambush.
What do you mean, an accident?
When the marshal was bushwhacked, Dodge here went for his gun. And in the struggle, Dodge got himself shot. Just a minute, Doc. Take your hand out of the bag real easy. Now move up here. This part of your medical equipment?
A man's got a right to carry a gun, hasn't he, Sheriff?
Yeah. But in your case, it's a little unusual. It's your profession to heal, not hurt.
I'm traveling across dangerous country. Even a doctor's got the right to defend himself. I'll take that back now.
Sure. Just send me your bill. I'll make sure you get paid.
Thank you. And I'll include the price of 6 bullets with my statement. Good day, gentlemen.
Little jumping, aren't you, Hollister? Make sure you lock it up good. Your bird might get out and fly away.
I made arrangements for the marshal.
Thanks. I guess you're wondering about the way I treated Buell.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call your attitude normal.
While you're out looking for a doc, the marshal was able to tell me a few facts about Kyle Dodge.
Well, he's a tough customer, and that's a fact.
And he's got a lot of friends out of the same mold. Dodge and his gang have been raiding the small towns in the eastern part of the state. The only one they could capture was Dodge himself.
Well, then how many of that gang do you suppose are in Tombstone now?
Your guess is as good as mine.
And you think Dr. Buell could be one of them?
Could be.
Dodge seemed pretty confident. Suppose he's counting on those men getting him out?
According to the marshal, Dodge is the only one who knows where all the money from the raids is stashed. They've got to try to free him.
Yep. They tried it once. They'll make the attempt again.
And my deputy's out of town.
Well, I need some help. Anything I can do.
All right. I gotta go out for a while. You keep an eye on things here. Oh, and lock this door. I want to keep all the friends I've got.
Sheriff Clay Hollister moved quickly to arrange for Kyle Dodge's safe delivery to the Yuma prison. His plan would take time, but he was determined that Dodge would not escape the law again.
Yeah, it's just a flesh wound, nothing serious. Well, if it isn't Tombstone's esteemed sheriff. You've come to quiet your nerves with a drink?
I think you could prescribe a better remedy. These gentlemen friends of yours?
Acquaintances, Mr. Boland, Mr. Andrews, Sheriff Hollister.
Howdy, Sheriff. Glad to meet you.
Planning on staying in town long?
Hard to say.
Depends on how long it takes to get our business done.
Might take a week, might take a day. Hard to tell.
What is your business, Mr. Boland?
Cattle. Got a ranch down on the New Mexico line.
Oh, well, that's Kyle Dodge's hunting ground, isn't it?
It was until they caught him.
Dodge never bothered us none, though. Here you got him locked up here in Tombstone.
You know, for a couple of fellas that just arrived in town, you're well supplied with information.
I've been telling them about Dodge. Sheriff's a very suspicious man.
Can't say that I blame him.
Say, Sheriff, what are you going to do about Dodge? You going to take him back to Yuma prison yourself?
Oh, I just sent this off a couple of minutes ago.
Oh. Yuma prison. Request you send officer to take custody of prisoner Kyle Dodge. Will hold until marshal arrives. Signed, Sheriff Clay Hollister, Tombstone Territory. Yeah.
You should have a man here in a couple of days.
A couple of days could be a long time. Anything could happen.
I'll be extra careful.
The sheriff looks like a man that can handle himself.
Yeah. Dead marshal looked like a man that could handle himself. Didn't help him any.
Dodge is going to prison. Nothing is going to prevent him getting there.
Set him up.
November 7, 1882. Kyle Dodge was still safely locked up in the Tombstone jail. His next step, the penitentiary at Yuma. Yet the notorious prisoner appeared to be unconcerned.
Looks good enough to eat, but got something. Where's the knife and fork? I can't cut anything with this.
I know.
What's the matter, Hollister? Don't you trust me? I never did like to eat alone. Why don't you hang around?
What for?
I thought we could talk a little. What kind of salary do you make, Hollister?
Enough.
$78 a month and you furnish your own horse. Big deal.
Are you worried about my future?
I hate to see a man miss a good opportunity.
Good opportunity?
How would you like to make $5,000, Hollister?
It's a lot of money.
Man could work all his life and never save that much.
Maybe.
I got plenty of money. All you have to do is let me out of here. $5,000. What do you say, Hollister?
You're wasting your time.
All you'll ever get out of this town is a bullet and a cheap funeral in Boot Hill.
Eat your food. It's getting cold.
Night. As Clay Hollister made his final check of the town, he was doubly alert. He felt certain that Dodge's gang would attempt to release him. They had tried it before, and a U.S. Marshal was dead.
Sheriff Hollister?
Something I can do for you, ma'am?
I'd like to talk to you for a moment, Sheriff.
Come right in. Yes, ma'am?
I want to see Kyle Dodge, please.
I'm sorry. The prisoner isn't allowed any visitors.
Not even his wife? We were married a little over a year ago in Tucson.
I didn't even know he had a wife.
We kept it a secret.
Even to the extent of not wearing a wedding ring?
You don't wear a wedding ring when you don't want people to know you're married.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't mean to doubt your word, but you're going to have to show me some proof that you are married to Dodge.
Oh, would a wedding picture help?
It might.
This proof enough for you?
I guess so.
Put your guns on the desk. Don't do anything we'll both be sorry about, Sheriff. Now, you better take me to see Kyle Dodge. After you. All right, open it.
I told you I wouldn't be here long, Hollister. Better do like the lady says.
Not this time, boy. You better go back into my office and discuss this a little further.
I feel like such an awful fool.
Anytime you're ready, start talking.
My name is Lydia Dawson.
How'd you meet Kyle Dodge?
Up until a few moments ago, I'd never seen him before.
I'm supposed to believe that?
It's the truth. Dodge and his gang raided Colton City 4 months ago. My father ran the bank. They killed him.
Go on.
There's nothing more to say. Except I wanted to pay Dodge back.
You weren't trying to set him free?
No, I wanted to kill him.
In the meantime, you better stay in town.
I'm staying at the hotel. Could I have my gun back, please?
For the time being, it might be better for both of us if I keep it. Dawson?
Good morning, Sheriff.
How long have you known Dr. Buell?
For quite a while. He's from my hometown.
Oh?
Why?
Just curious.
Could I have my gun back now?
I'm sorry, Miss Dawson. I haven't heard from Colton City yet.
You will, Sheriff.
November 11, 1882. A lone rider on the trail outside of Tombstone. The man who rode in answer to Clay Hollister's telegram.
Sheriff Hollister?
That's right.
U.S. Deputy Marshal Kennedy.
Oh, good to meet you. Come on in. You didn't waste any time getting here.
Well, the quicker we get Dodge to Yuma, the better.
This is Harris Clyburn, the editor of the Epitaph.
Hello, Marshal.
How do you do?
You got any credentials on you?
Oh.
Thanks.
I thought sure the Marshal's office would send more than one man.
Good enough. Yeah, there are a lot of strangers in town. No telling how many of them are members of Dodge gang.
Well, Dodge is going to Yuma on the stagecoach. All we got to worry about is getting him aboard. I can handle it from there.
When do you want to go?
There's a coach leaving for Yuma in 20 minutes. I can make it.
I'll get him.
Need some help?
No thanks. All right. Let's go, Dodge.
Where are we going, Hollister?
Out of one jail into another one. I'll turn him over to you at the stagecoach.
Sure.
You'll never make it, Hollister. Two of you won't be enough.
Or maybe three of us will shorten the odds some.
Keep your eyes open. like you've got some company to see you off. Harris, cover Buell and the girl. You can take it now. All right. Dodge, looks like you're not going to be lonely in prison. Your friend here can keep you company.
How did you know Kennedy wasn't a marshal?
I showed Bolin and Andrews a fake telegram saying I'd asked for help. I didn't send it.
So Kennedy had to be working with Dodge.
Uh-huh.
What about those credentials he showed you?
Forged. See, before he died, Marshall warned me to be careful who I trusted. He said that Dodge's men would stop at nothing to set him free.
And not to be good advice.
Yeah. Wish you were alive so I could thank him. You can have this back now, Miss Dawson.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Well, it's good to see you in a pleasant mood for a change, Sheriff.
Yeah, I sort of like the feeling myself. I was just apologizing to the doctor and Miss Dawson for thinking they could be part of Dodge's gang.
Oh, yeah, I guess I should say a few words in that direction, too.
That isn't necessary, Sheriff. We understand now. I'm grateful it all came out the way it did.
I do have one question, though, Doctor. Just before the shooting started, I saw you open your medical bag. What were you reaching for?
Well, I know this sounds ridiculous, but I was reaching for a sedative. Miss Dawson had a headache.
I thought it might be a gun. I saw you drinking with Bolin and Andrews. Did you know them before?
I took a slug out of Andrews about 2 years ago in Abilene. I didn't know they were outlaws.
Suspicion can make a man do strange things.
It goes along with a lawman's job. I guess I should try to curb it, though. Uh-oh. What's he doing in Tombstone?
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, June 3, 1882. Sheriff Clay Hollister was making his nightly check before putting the town to bed.
doing, Rusty?
Good evening, Sheriff. Or is it morning?
Straight up. Take your pick.
Well, it's good morning.
How's business?
Mighty quiet tonight.
That's just the way I like it. Quiet.
Sorry, mister, but I'm closing.
But I want to play. You heard me.
Yeah, I heard you. How many chips do you want?
No chips, just one hand, $100.
It's your money.
Yeah, that's right.
What goes?
Like you said earlier, it's my money.
But you lost.
No. You dealt from the bottom of the deck.
Listen, mister, I've been dealing here in Tombstone for 2 years, and nobody, never accused me.
Maybe you're dealing your own tombstone right now.
I'm not armed.
You threw a bottle at me, mister. Bottle's a lethal weapon. Let go. Sorry, Sheriff. You caught me by surprise.
You're awful eager to shoot an unarmed man.
Unarmed. He tried to kill me.
I know Rusty better than that. He might have tried to defend himself, but kill you? No.
Well, maybe I was a little hasty. But you know how it is, Sheriff. A fellow just gets into town, people try to take advantage of him. And I've learned there's not much law in these frontier towns. Man has to shoot first and ask questions later.
Not in Tombstone, Mr.
Sanders. Vince Sanders.
Well, Mr. Sanders, you better take a tight rein on that temper of yours. We don't like loose gunplay.
What about my money?
How about it, Rusty?
He bet $100 and lost, claim I dealt off the bottom.
Oh, you got the wrong man, mister. Rusty doesn't bottom deal. Now, why don't you just take your original bet and go home to bed? It's all right with Rusty.
Sure. I was ready to go to bed an hour ago.
I thought you said it was a quiet night.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. June 4, 1882. The stage from Denver arrived in Tombstone ahead of schedule.
Oh, hello, Harris. Say, I thought you were going to meet the stage today. Isn't Bert McGraw due in?
Yeah, I thought you might want to come along. Stage is due any minute.
Oh, that's a good idea. I can stop by Hatch's on the way back, get a bite to eat.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Nothing at all. As a matter of fact, things are improving around here. What, Bert, welcome home.
Hi, fellas. We were just going to meet you. You two are the first to know. Gentlemen, this is Jeannie, otherwise known as Mrs. Bert McGraw. Jeannie,
Sheriff Hollister, Mr. Clyburn of the Epitaph.
How do you do, gentlemen?
Well, congratulations. When did all this happen?
Day before we left Denver.
I'm afraid you're going to have to forgive the editor's staring, ma'am. It's just we don't have such pretty newcomers around here often.
Congratulations, Bert. You're a lucky man.
I think Harris is afraid he's just lost his best chess opponent.
We'll still have our chess games.
I hope you enjoy living in Tombstone, Miss McGraw.
Oh, I'm sure I will, Sheriff.
We'll do our best to see that you do.
Thank you.
Come on, Bert. Help you with the bags.
Jeannie McGraw had arrived in Tombstone on the noon stage from Denver unknown. Nobody knew at the time that she was someone the town would never forget.
Yeah, how about that? Never thought old Bert McGraw would get himself roped in a double harness.
Yeah.
Well, you don't sound too happy about it. Matter of fact, I'd say you're acting downright grumpy.
Clay, I know this sounds ridiculous, but I have a notion I've seen that woman before somewhere.
Well, you've been to Denver.
I don't know where, or when, or under what circumstances. But it bothers me.
Well, you know, there's something bothers me, too. The way she was staring at that Vince Sanders across the street.
Vince Sanders?
Yeah.
Oh, the fellow came into town yesterday.
Yeah, and an hour after he rode in, he started a big free-for-all down at the Oriental. Accused one of the dealers of cheating.
You think she knows him?
I don't know. Probably not.
Where are you going?
Look for some real trouble instead of dreaming it up.
Allow me, man.
Leave me alone.
You don't really mean that, do you?
Sanders! Leave the lady alone like she told you.
Just as you say, Sheriff. This time.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Oh, Miss McGraw, you know that man?
Well, I'd rather not discuss it. Excuse me.
Now, this little gal I was talking about from Denver, she loved me, wanted to marry me. But she decided she'd marry someone with lots of money. So she did. Oh, it won't last. This fella she married is old. She'll get tired of him. She's mine! She always was. Evening, McGraw. I thought the happy bridegroom would have lots better things to do than hang around saloons.
I heard you were talking like that. All over town.
Ain't you never heard of freedom of speech, McGraw?
You keep that foul mouth shut, or I'll shut it for you. For good, you hear that?
Maybe you'd really like to make something of it.
You can't talk about my wife like that or buff me either. Now, I'm warning you.
McGraw, you ain't never gonna get out that door alive.
Put it away, Sanders.
You've been pushing me, Hollister.
Go home, Bert.
But look,
I said go home. I know what you've been doing, Sanders. That's why I'm here. You leave the McGraws alone or I'll throw you out of town.
Sure, Hollister. Anything you say.
You wanted to see me?
Hello, Clay. Yeah. I heard about that run-in between Vince Sanders and Bert McGraw.
No.
And then I remembered where I'd seen Jeannie McGraw before.
Where?
Here, see what you think.
A Santa Fe paper dated 6 months ago?
Look at the picture there on the front page.
Oh, yeah. Woman widowed for the second time in 2 years. This article doesn't come right out and say it, but it practically accuses her of legalized murder.
Twice she married an older, well-to-do man from some small western town. Both times the husband was killed by a stranger in what was called a fair fight. What more do you need?
Well, even though this picture does look like McGraw's bride, I can't act officially until I know for sure.
Well, you better do that fast. If this woman is Jeannie and Vince Sanders is her partner, Bert McGraw is living in the shadow of Boot Hill.
All right. You wire the Santa Fe paper for more detailed information. I'll go talk to McGraw.
Sheriff Hollister.
Ma'am.
Nice of you to come by. Sit down. Let me get you something.
Oh, no, thanks. I want to talk to Bert.
Well, he's not here.
Well, could you tell me where he is?
He's on the other side of the hill, dynamiting stumps for grazing land.
Thank you.
Well, Sheriff, what do you want to talk to him about? Maybe I could help.
Yeah, maybe you could. Did you hear about what happened last night in town?
You mean men brawling? I hear you have a lot of that in Tombstone, Sheriff.
Mrs. McGraw, you know Vince Sanders, don't you?
I've already discussed that with my husband.
One more thing, Miss McGraw.
I have chores, Sheriff.
Mrs. McGraw, were you ever married before?
Morning, Bert. Morning, Clay.
You better be careful. That's pretty dangerous stuff you're working with.
Take forever to dig this stump out. This stuff does it in a few minutes.
Say, Bert, you've known me long enough to know that I'm not a busybody.
So?
So your wife practically admitted to me that she knows this Vince Sanders. She said she discussed it with you.
That's right. She's got nothing to hide. Sanders is in love with her. Followed her here to Tombstone. Won't leave her alone. And I'm warning you, Clay. If he bothers her again, if he even goes near Jeannie, I'll kill him.
Oh, no, Bert. That's just what Sanders wants. That'll give him an excuse to kill you and claim self-defense. You wouldn't have a chance against a professional gunslinger like him.
Now listen, Clay. Well, what is it? Somebody tried to shoot at me.
Not you, the dynamite.
He got away.
Vince Sanders, Clay?
That's my guess.
And he's out to get me now. Any way he can. So he can have Jeannie.
Yeah.
An attempt had been made on Bert McGraw's life, one calculated to kill Clay Hollister at the same time, if it had been successful. The sheriff of Tombstone had an idea as to the identity of the killer, but he didn't have proof.
Harris, you got any answers?
Harris!
What happened?
Oh, hello, Clay.
Were you all right?
Oh, sure. Perfectly all right. Considering somebody tried to bash my skull in.
Who did it?
I guess it was our friend Vince Sanders. I came in, found a wire from Santa Fe pushed under the door. I bent over to pick it up, and wham! I never even got a chance to read it.
Well, don't worry about the wire. I don't think we'll need it.
Why not?
Because Sanders has practically proven that we're right. I'm almost sure that he tried to kill McGraw and me.
Where? When?
I'll tell you later. Right now, I'm going to get Sanders. He's got a lot of questions to answer.
Not without me. I've acquired a personal interest in Mr. Vince Sanders. Vince Sanders was a step ahead of us. The hotel clerk said he had checked out several hours before, claiming he was leaving town.
Well, I doubt if he'd cleared out for good or he wouldn't have worried about that wire.
Where do you suppose he's gone?
Take direct action against his target, Bert McGraw. Let's go.
Home? No, he's out at the line camp shack on Stony Hills. You just missed him, Sheriff.
How about Mrs. McGraw? She here?
She's out there, too. She rode out first. Left a message for Mr. McGraw that she was riding out to say goodbye to a friend that's leaving the territory.
Vince. He'll kill Bert and nobody to witness it but Jeannie.
And she'll testify it was a fair fight.
Yeah, let's go. No sign of him. He must have been farther ahead of us than I thought.
Still about 5 miles to that shack.
Uh-huh. We'll take that dry riverbed. We can cut off a mile that way. Come on.
Looks like he got you a message. Now he's gonna get mine.
Vince, don't you mess with him. You shoot him as soon as he comes in that door.
Don't you worry about me. You just stand right here so he thinks you're alone.
who?
You know who. How long ago did he leave?
He didn't.
You want her, Sanders. Fight for her. Harris, cover me just in case.
I wouldn't dirty my hands.
Well, stop stalling and shoot him.
I just want to see him suffer a little bit.
Bert? I'm sorry, Bert.
Sorry he's dead, you mean?
No. No, I'm not. Please don't look at me like that. You can forgive me. You've got to forgive me. I'll make up for it some way. Please, Bert, please. Bert, come back! All right, then, go on. I don't need you. But remember that I'm still your wife. And half of everything you own is legally mine. Your land and your money, that's all I ever wanted anyway.
You don't even have that anymore.
What do you mean?
This wire I just got from the Santa Fe Press. They just completed an investigation on you and your friend here. It seems that you were originally married to Sanders, and you never divorced him. So you were never legally married to Bert or to any of the others. You're getting to be a pretty good newspaper man, Harris. What's so interesting out there?
Bert McGraw.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he'd be snapping out of it by now.
You need something to jar him out of it.
What did you?
Hey, we got a new ordinance in town. No wool gathering in the middle of the day.
Hello, Clay.
Oh, say, you hear about the new chess champion?
Chess champion?
Yeah, of Tombstone. He claims it's official, even proclaiming it in the newspaper.
Who?
Harris. He says there are no challengers. Well, none worth their salt, anyway.
Why, I know what you're doing, Clay. I'll get around to playing chess.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
October 15, 1882. A short distance from Tombstone, Arizona Territory.
Me first, gentlemen. This ought to run close to $9,000. Much better than last time. Get the driver's body off and wait for me at Indian Springs.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Another Argus wagon ambushed, 2 more brutal killings, and now, for the first time, committed in the jurisdiction of Clay Hollister, Sheriff of Tombstone.
Driver and the shotgun guard from the Argus mine shipment.
Wait here.
You think it's the same 3 men?
If you want to call them men.
Last month they hit that first wagon over here by Pantano. 2 weeks later, they ambushed the second wagon, Sonoyta. And day before yesterday, they're clear down here.
Every time it's a wagon belonging to Argus.
Yeah. Well, come on, Quint. Let's go report the robbery to Whittaker.
Right. And all 3 of them got away? Makes you look kind of foolish, don't it, Sheriff?
Oh, come on, Burgess. The sheriff isn't responsible for the entire Arizona territory.
He's responsible for Cochise County. You don't even know who you're looking for.
I know what I'm looking for, Burgess. That's how they get their information. They must have known where each of those shipments was heading and along what trail.
Now, Clay, you've seen how cautious we've been. We've followed every suggestion you've made.
Each time the wagon was carrying what you people call a small shipment of silver.
That's true. Less than $10,000 in silver ingots. The big shipments haven't been touched.
Any explanation?
Yeah, big shipments have 2 or 3 guards. Do that with a small load and it'll get through.
He's got a point.
Sure, he's got a point. An experienced guard costs $100 a day. Men like Bat Masterson, even more. You put 2 or 3 of those on our small shipments, there goes our entire margin of profit.
When's our next wagon going out?
I'm not certain.
I'm driving that wagon myself, guard or no guard.
Thanks, Burgess. I'll think it over.
You think he means it?
I believe he does. I also believe that if he does take the next wagon out, there's a good possibility that it won't be attacked.
Meaning?
Clay, there are 5 men who know the details of our silver shipments. 4 of them are officers of the company. The 5th man is Burgess.
You think he could be the contact with the killers?
I don't know.
There's one way to find out for sure. Let him drive that next shipment. I'll ride shotgun.
You're the sheriff. You call it.
I've called it.
These go to Globe, and this bundle's for Tucson. Thanks.
How many papers do you send out, Harris?
About 700 now. The epitaph practically saturates the territory.
I can believe that. I even found a piece of your front page out where that last Argus wagon was ambushed.
Is that your only clue?
You can call it that.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Whitaker.
Suppose you can find advertising space for this in tomorrow morning's paper?
Mr. Whitaker, for an ad that big, I'll print a new page.
I'll see you later.
Oh, Clay, if you got a moment, I'd like to talk to you.
All right, I'll wait outside.
Good.
Still short-handed, huh?
Yes, can you read it all right?
Steady jobs in Tombstone for dependable men.
Set it up in that big black type. I'd kind of like to attract the attention of the out-of-town readers.
That's the immediate openings for 10 drillers, also pushers, teamsters, and hard rock miners. Highest pay.
Just set it up like the other ads.
Sure will. And, thanks, Mr. Whitaker.
Just bring some help to Tombstone. Clay, you still willing to ride guard on our next wagon?
Of course.
You'll be riding with Burgess.
Does he know about it?
No.
Well, when do we leave?
Monday morning, 8 o'clock. Sure hope I'm wrong about him.
Just have to wait and see.
Well, I'm glad you brought the wagon back. Where'd you find it?
Not far from Indian Springs. Horses had been unhitched and they were grazing nearby.
How do you figure it?
I don't know. Looked like 3 horses left the scene of the ambush, but only 2 of them were being ridden. One man must have driven the wagon and left it near Indian Springs.
Well, it's all loaded and ready to go. I hope we don't lose it this time. Here comes Burgess. I'll let you break the news to him.
Well, Hollister, what are you doing here?
Oh, I thought you might need some help on this run.
Don't know as I do. From you, that is.
Well, you're going to get it anyway. I've decided to ride shotgun for you.
Oh? When did you decide?
A couple of days ago.
Kept it a secret, huh? You and Whitaker. So I'm the one who's been tipping off them bushwhackers.
You just concentrate on getting this wagon through to Tucson.
Was I you, Hollister, I wouldn't trust me any further than I could throw one of them 90-pound ingots we're hauling. Have a cigar.
No, thank you.
Just a little rock slide, Sheriff.
I don't like the look of it.
What's the matter? You nervous? You mean I'm going to have to go out there and clear them rocks by myself, huh?
I'll cover you.
I'll tell you what, Hollister. I'll stay here and you go out there and clear them rocks. Wait till I see that Whitaker accusing a man just because... Burgess! I'm all right! Stay under cover! Never figured they'd jump us, Sheriff. Sorry. I've always had a big mouth.
I'm sorry, too. I guess we had you figured wrong.
You all right? Better than him. Who is he?
Oh, no. Never saw him before.
Wake me up when we get back to Tombstone.
Very grateful that Burgess is alive. Clay, I sure owe him an apology.
Yeah. I guess we misjudged him.
Oh, that killer you brought in, who's he?
Body's still unidentified.
And the other two men?
I only saw their backs as they were riding away.
Well, don't feel too badly about it, Clay. Burgess is alive. You did bring back the silver.
There is one thing. I was wondering if there could be any...
Yes?
Sorry, the clerk said to come in.
Oh, I imagine you're looking for a job?
Yeah, that's right, a job.
I'm sorry I can't see you now. Just wait in the hall.
Yes, sir.
You were saying?
Oh, nothing. Just that there's no new evidence. I'll let you know if anything comes up.
Oh, thanks, Clay. Thanks for everything you've done.
Clay Hollister had found newspaper clippings from the epitaph at the scene of both robberies of the silver shipments from the Argus mines. For some reason, he had not mentioned it to the mine superintendent, John Whitaker.
Guess you heard we had a little trouble.
Yeah. You know better than to come into Tombstone.
That tin star didn't recognize me.
Doesn't make any difference.
He'll never get us.
No one will if you follow orders. Just keep on storing the silver at Indian Springs. Now go find yourself a new man to work with. Keep on taking your orders from my ads. From now on, I never want to see you in Tombstone, do you hear?
I heard you.
Hi, Harris. How about a game of cribbage?
Sure. Well, how's your puzzle coming?
Puzzling. Whitaker keeps changing the route of silver delivery to Tucson, and he still keeps getting robbed. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, it makes sense to somebody. Somebody's making a fortune.
Yeah. Harris, do you remember that piece of your front page that I found out where the other Argus wagon was held up?
Yeah? The October 11th issue, you said.
Uh-huh. Did Whitaker have a want ad in that issue?
Well, I don't know. Let's find out.
What about our game?
Later, Quinn.
Later.
Good thing I keep a complete file of the epitaphs, or you never would solve any of your crimes.
I'm glad it makes you feel needed. Where's the paper?
Let's see. You said October 11th.
One of Whitaker's ads, all right. And I took this one off of the outlaw who was killed.
Well, that's Whitaker's latest ad. Here. There it is.
Printed 4 days before Burgess and I were ambushed. You know, Harris, this hold-up gang may be getting information on time, destination, and route of these shipments from a code in these ads.
Well, how? John Whitaker writes these ads himself.
I know, but Burgess and Whitaker are the only two men outside of the owners of the Argus who had the information on these shipments. And Burgess cleared himself yesterday. Harris, I need your help. I want to go over every one of Whitaker's ads, and if there's a code, we'll break it.
All right. Let's start here and work back.
And the Pantano robbery checks, too. This ad told the killers where to go and when to get there.
Well, it looks like we've broken their code. Yeah. But I wish we had a few more cases to go on so we could be sure.
No. More cases mean more killings. I hope that Whitaker's next move is to send the bullion by way of Fairbanks again. A repeat shipment would give us the final check on the code that we need.
Yeah. Are you going to ride shotgun?
You just let me know the minute that Whitaker brings in the next ad. I'll ride shotgun, all right. Maybe to Fairbanks or maybe someplace else.
Carol.
You called me, sir?
Yes. I want you to take this ad to the epitaph for tomorrow's newspaper. And then, if you don't mind, stop in and see the sheriff and ask him to come see me at his convenience.
Yes, sir.
According to this, you'll need that next Tuesday.
Whitaker's ad?
Yep. Have you talked to him yet?
No, I sent Quint instead. Needs 6 drillers at once. Now, drillers, that's the code word for Fairbanks, and 6 is the desert trail.
Apply 7 a.m. Tuesday. That's when the shipment leaves, right?
Right. When does this get printed?
Tomorrow. He wants to see a proof this afternoon.
All right. Print it just this way, but only for those papers that are going to stay right here in town. What did Whitaker want?
A guard. You, preferably. For a silver shipment he's sending to Tucson by way of Fairbanks.
When?
Early next week. He said the exact day would depend on when he has a good driver available.
Did he mention a route?
Oh, he said he'd talk that over with you.
Yeah. He's still being careful that nobody finds out too much, except for his own gun slicks. Well, we'll just have to see that the gun slicks are far away from Fairbanks. All right, Whitaker will see his ad, just as it's written here, just as he wants it. But for the out-of-town papers, make it read like this.
Change 6 drillers to 8 hard rock miners and make the departure time 4 hours later.
That's right. I want to give those outlaws plenty of time to locate a good ambush spot on the canyon trail to Tanque Verde.
Here's for Prescott. That's it. Hit it.
There they go, Clay. Those copies have Whitaker's ad with the changes you made. Local edition. Word for word, the way Whitaker wrote it.
Good enough. Brent and I are seeing Whitaker on Monday. We got a story cooked up that'll keep him happy until Tuesday.
Well, this about tomorrow, gentlemen?
Either Quentin or I are riding on that shipment to Fairbanks tomorrow.
Why, Clay? It's a little late to get out the guards, and I don't think I should postpone it.
Well, you don't have to postpone it. Send it without guards. Got this message from the sheriff of Pima County.
Argus gang reported seen in Tucson and heading west. Large cash silver ingots located and being held in Tancaverde. Suggest Argus authorities try to identify as loot from recent robberies. Tancaverde? Why, that's impossible.
Impossible, Mr. Whitaker?
Well,
it's worth looking into, even if the mill stamps have been hammered out.
They have been hammered out?
Yes, but you should be able to identify ingots from your own crushing mill anyway, shouldn't you?
Why, yes, I should be able to recognize them. What do you want me to do, Clay?
You drive a wagon to Tancaverde yourself. Quentin and I'll ride shotgun on whatever you bring back.
Fine. But you sure that wagon to Fairbanks won't be waylaid?
I'm sure of it.
Looks like we got us an alert shotgun rider today.
Well, you know how these kids are. Stay up all night and still expect to do a good job in the morning. Are we ready to go? Why don't you grab yourself a couple of winks so you'll do us some good on the way back with the silver?
Oh, I could sure use it.
Sound asleep. I guess we really don't need him with an empty wagon.
Nope.
Reach up! You're covered front and rear! Don't shoot! It's Whitaker!
Hold him.
Hold it! You won't need those guns. Drop it. Start climbing.
Real nice shooting back there, Quint. Especially for a fellow who's fast asleep.
Sure put him to sleep.
Time to wake him up.
Come on, Whitaker, get up.
Can't lie there all day. Gotta make room for some friends of yours. You won't have any trouble identifying them.
Come on, get up in there.
The whole territory will be interested in today's paper, Clay.
Hey, it seems kind of light, Harris. What's the matter? Not as much advertising as usual?
I'm not complaining. If the rate Whitaker was robbing the Argus mines, they couldn't have paid the bills much longer anyway.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, October 9, 1882, mid-afternoon. A $20,000 shipment of bank cash destined for Tucson was being transferred from the stagecoach to the Wells Fargo safe to be held overnight.
You're the sheriff.
Clay Hollister, and you're...
Liz Dalton. I just came in on the stage. I'm staying in town overnight. I'm on my way to Tucson. It's my first trip there.
Oh, it's too bad. That's Tombstone's loss. But you're welcome anyway. It's my deputy, Quint.
Hello.
If we can be of service?
You can. For one thing, I thought perhaps you might recommend a nice place for me to stay.
Oh, well, there's the Russ house just down the street. It's about the quietest place in town.
Thank you. Oh, Sheriff, do you think that I might arrange to leave these in the safe overnight?
Well, that'd have to be up to the Wells Fargo people.
I'd feel a lot safer if I could. They're quite valuable, my jewels. Most of them are family heirlooms, so naturally they mean a great deal to me.
Sounds like a good idea if it's all right with Sam. Sam? Miss Dalton here would like to use your safe.
Well, sorry, the safe's for company business only. I'm really awfully sorry, Miss Dalton. You understand how it is, company policy.
Please. I'd sleep so much better tonight if you would. Couldn't you do it as a personal favor for me?
Well, I think we can arrange it in your case, Miss Dalton. Well, the company wants to accommodate us travelers.
Thank you, Mr.
Wade, Sam Wade.
Thank you, Mr. Wade.
Come with me. Put it right there in the case. I'll check the jewels. Yes. You've got a string of pearls, 2 diamond earrings, and 2 brooches, correct?
That's right.
Quint? Yeah. What is it? I think I can take care of things here if you want to go finish your round. You should enjoy Tucson, Miss Dalton. Of course, they haven't got anything there that we don't have right here. Maybe a little bit more of it.
I'm sure I'll like it, Sheriff. There. I feel a lot better now.
Don't close it. My name is Packard, Judd Packard. I'm sorry about that holler, but I'm carrying over $1,000 in cash here, and I certainly would like to lock it in your safe overnight, if you don't mind.
You're sure doing a Russian business today, Sam.
I'll take care of you, Mr. Packard, just as soon as I give this little lady here a receipt.
actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory.
Well, I was just going to do that.
Well, saves you the trouble. Thanks.
Now you can move this whole...
All right, I see it.
Clay, a fellow named Packard over at the Oriental wants to see you. Said he needs your help.
Packard? Oh, yeah. What did you want?
Well, he's in a big ruckus over a poker game. Looks like it could get serious.
All right. I'm going over that way. I'll walk with you.
Here's the sheriff. Now he'll vouch for me.
What seems to be the trouble?
He's lost all his cash. Wants to keep on playing. I want to see the money.
We're going to keep on playing, mister. You're not quitting until I've had a chance to win back.
Easy, Packard.
All right. But you tell this man I got $1,000 cash in the Wells Fargo safe.
That's right. Why didn't you just show him the receipt?
Well, I don't have it with me. It's up in my hotel room.
Is that right, Sheriff?
Sure it's right, or I wouldn't say so. Breaks up.
Oh, Sheriff.
Yeah?
You know, it might be a good idea if you stuck around for a while.
What for?
Oh, sort of keep an eye on the game. After all, man's been as lucky as Todd here. Winning steadily, hand after hand. Might just learn something.
You accuse me of cheating?
You don't mind if the sheriff watches, do you?
You never can tell about people you're traveling with. Now you take me. All you know about me is that I'm a salesman, traveling in the same places as you and Judd Packard.
So?
So I'm a lot smarter than you think I am, because I found a way of making some real big money.
How?
Oh, I've got all kinds of things to sell. Like information. Do you realize there have been 2 safe robberies, big ones, in towns that we've been in?
All right. We'll cut you in. But if we get caught, there won't be anything for any of us. So let's get out of here.
Where to?
To hide this.
But I'm going with you. This afternoon when your friend Judd Packard rented their horse at the livery stable and went riding, I followed him. So I know just where you're headed for. I'll see that you don't get lost.
You all through, Packard?
Yes, I'm through.
All right, shut up. You really wrecked this place, now you're going to pay for it.
I'm not going to pay for something.
You want to spend some time in a Tombstone jail?
All right, I'll settle up in the morning, when I get my money out.
All right. Now, I suggest you head for your hotel room. The rest of you can head for home, too. This card game's over.
Wait. This is far enough. I've decided. We don't have to hide it.
But we're strangers here. The sheriff might search our rooms. Judd will come back for it in a day or so. That's the way we always work it. We'll decide on the split then.
Oh, I've already decided on the split.
What do you mean?
This one's mine. All of it.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, don't I? You think the price of freedom for Packard and you is too high? Hand it over, lady. Give it to me.
All right.
A few hours later, the same night.
Well, did everything go all right?
No, it didn't. Something went wrong. Real wrong.
What do you mean? What happened?
You remember that little man that came in on the stage with us? Kept trying to make conversation?
What about him?
He followed me. He caught me red-handed. I didn't even have a chance to close the safe.
What do you mean he followed you?
Just that. He was in Lordsburg when we were. Maybe Prescott.
So?
So he knew. He must have seen us make the deposits. Then when the places were robbed, he put 2 and 2 together. He's been following us.
All right, all right. How much does he want?
He wanted it all.
He wanted it? Oh, you mean you settled with him?
I settled with him. I killed him. I had to do it. He never would have left us alone.
That gun was to be used as a last resort.
It was. It's done, and that's that.
Not quite.
You've let yourself in for a murder charge.
Not me. We. You're in this, too.
Oh, no. Not in the killing, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are. You're my accomplice, and don't forget it. Because I won't ever. They won't catch us, Judd. And besides, we're rich. Very rich.
Early morning, October 10, 1882.
Morning, Miss Dalton. Sorry to waken you so early, but I've got some bad news.
About what, Sheriff?
About your jewels. The Wells Fargo safe was robbed last night. Cleaned out. Everything.
Everything. But my jewels, they're family heirlooms. They're worth a fortune.
I'm sorry, Miss Dalton. Of course, I'll do everything to recover them.
But I put them in the safe so that... Sheriff, I'm holding you personally responsible, along with the Wells Fargo company. You'll both be hearing from my attorney.
Yes, ma'am. But in the meantime, I'll need a description of the jewels, as complete as possible.
It was a string of pearls. 43 pearls in each strand, each one perfect.
Pearls 43.
There was a serial number on the clasp, 578348282.
578348282.
And there were a pair of earrings, gold mountings. There were 5 small, perfect diamonds in each one. That's a total of 10 diamonds, Sheriff.
Your addition's as good as your memory, Miss Dalton.
And there were 2 brooches, cameos. There were dates inscribed on the back. One was March 6, 1818, and the other was August 21st, I think, 1831.
21st, 1831?
Yes, I think that's it. All right. That's everything, Sheriff.
Thank you, Miss Dalton. You'll be hearing from me.
Anything new on the robbery? I asked you... Clay?
Hello, Harris.
Why all the deep thought?
Thinking about Liz Dalton.
What about her?
She was in a position where she could have seen the combination to the safe when Sam Wade opened it.
You really think she did it? Then came back later and stole her own jewels?
And close to $20,000 in cash. Harris, she's got a phenomenal memory.
How do you know that?
Well, when she was itemizing the contents of her jewel case, she told me exactly how many pearls she had, the serial number on the clasp, even the dates on the back of the brooches. Wouldn't you say that was a little unusual?
Clay, one of the stage passes that rode into town yesterday is missing.
Missing?
Yeah, a man named Harry Ames. The hotel manager just told me. Thought we ought to know. He went out last night and never did come back.
All right, I'll go check it.
Sheriff Hollister, I was just on my way to see you.
You leaving town?
Yes, on the noon stage. You can contact me in Tucson at the Arizona Hotel, if and when my jewels are recovered. I'm sure you'll do everything possible to get them back for me, Sheriff. I'm sorry I was unpleasant this morning, but I was upset.
It's understandable.
Goodbye, Sheriff. I'd better leave while I still have some possessions left.
I don't envy you the ride. That's a long, hot 70 miles.
71 to be exact. Goodbye, Sheriff.
Oh, Miss Dalton.
Yes?
I'm searching everyone leaving Tombstone. No exceptions.
Don't you think that's a little ridiculous in my case, Sheriff?
No exceptions. Who should be able to understand better than you?
Help yourself, Sheriff.
Thank you. Nothing unusual, except maybe this.
Unusual, Sheriff, for a woman traveling alone.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Dalton. Sorry for the inconvenience. You can go now.
Quint, how about a game of cribbage?
No, later. I got a job for you. Yeah, what's up? You're gonna take a little trip.
One or two.
on with you.
Official business, ma'am.
Later the same day, October 10, 1882.
Is it all there, Packard?
You're in this deeper than I thought. First robbery, now murder.
Let's go. Leave it. I'll carry it for you. Move out.
Now, let's go. I got a telegram to send to Benson. There's no reason for Miss Dalton and my deputy to travel all those 71 miles to Tucson. She's got some unfinished business right here in Tombstone.
I don't know how anyone opens one of these blasted things with... Hello, Clay.
We're just trying to figure out whether Liz Dalton will open that thing by remembering the combination or whether she did it by sound. You know, listening to the tumblers.
Why didn't you just ask? Here.
Answer your inquiry, Ray Judson Packard and Elizabeth Dalton.
They were a carnival act for years before they hit on this safe-cracking idea.
Carnival act?
Yeah, you know. Liz would look at a page of a book for a couple of seconds and then recite it word for word. Photographic memory, they call it.
Well, how did you know about Packard?
Well, I didn't for sure. Just played a hunch. See, when Liz left town without the money, I figured somebody had to be in on it with her. And Packard went out of his way to start that wing-ding down at the Oriental at exactly the time of the robbery.
I see. So that's how she did it.
Mm-hmm. Glenn. From now on, when I'm out of the office, I want you to keep an eye on the editor here. I think he's planning on a life of crime.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory. The night of May 19, 1882.
Inside!
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Sunday, May 20, 1882. The Tombstone Bank had been robbed in the dark hour before dawn, and an innocent bystander had been killed by the fleeing gunman.
Todd, stay here. Sam and I are riding down into Jensen's. Cover us.
Dan, there are 3 riders up on the hill, and 2 of them have started down.
Yeah?
Maybe you better get your gun.
You expecting trouble?
Are you? The man in the lead is riding a sorrel like Ben rides.
Inside, honey.
No.
I said inside.
And I said no.
Look, do you trust me?
Yes, I trust you, Dan, but I'm going to stay.
Somebody up the hill told us this was the Jensen farm. I guess you must be Dan Jensen. And you, lady, you must be Hope Jensen.
You want something?
Sort of. But it's business. Or when men talk, most ladies leave the room. All right, tell her, Danny. Tell her you asked us here. The sooner she leaves us alone, the sooner we go.
Go ahead, honey. Go on. Go ahead. Just shut your mouth. What do you want?
Give him the bag.
Why?
I'm appointing you my banker, Danny. Go on, take it, boy. It'll make you the richest banker in the territory.
I said why.
Because I told you to. Because that girl in there deserves a chance to spend the rest of her life with you. And she'll do anything you say, Danny. You just take that money here and put it away for your friends, and there won't be any trouble. If you don't, there's nothing but trouble.
Why me, Ben? You could...
No more arguments. I said give him the bag.
When will you be back?
When I think it's time.
You swear no trouble if I do it.
That's what I said. Come on.
I was just leaving you a note. What about? About the bank? Any news? Yeah, it was robbed. Well, thanks for the exclusive. But everybody in town already knows that.
Does everybody in town know who did it?
No. But they suspect you'll find out.
And I'll find out who killed the handyman.
Now, take it easy, Clay. It's not your fault the bank was robbed.
It's somebody's fault, Harris. 3 men ride into town, break into the bank, kill a man, and just ride out of town again. And do you know why they thought they could get away with it? Because there's just me and one deputy to take care of the whole...
Sheriff Hollister, I'm Hope Jensen. I'd like to talk to you whenever...
Come in, man. This is Harris Clyburn, editor of the Epitaph.
Miss Jensen.
You got here just in time to stop me from blowing my top.
He means you almost got here in time.
I'll talk to you later. Just wait till you hear me on the subject of newspaper prices.
It's nice to meet you, Miss Jensen.
Thank you.
Will you sit down, ma'am? Now, how may I help you?
Sheriff. Look inside. Is it from the bank?
Maybe you better tell me.
Well, 2 men rode into our place this morning. With that. They gave it to my husband. He hid it. I watched. Later I found it and I brought it here. Sheriff, I don't know why Dan took it. I just want you to
Mrs.
help
Jensen,
him, please.
getting upset isn't going to help. Now, please sit down. Now, Dan, he's your husband?
Yes. We have a farm 9 miles out on the Benson Road. These 3 men.
You said 2.
Oh, did I? Well, there were 3.
Then why did you say 2?
Well, only 2 rode in. The other man stood as a kind of lookout, I guess.
I see. Did you know them?
No. No, I don't know them.
Did your husband?
No.
Quint.
Cowboy.
Lock that in the safe. This is my deputy, Quint, Mrs. Jensen.
Ma'am?
Now, I suggest you stay here until I get back. Your husband, Dan, will be with me. Dan Jensen?
Yeah.
I'm Clay Hollister. You the sheriff? That's right. I'd like to talk to you for a minute. Your wife's in my office, Mr. Jensen.
Why?
She brought me something.
You know what? Well, what'd she bring you?
Money. A whole sack full of it. The money belongs to the Tombstone Bank. Would you like to tell me why you had it, Mr. Jensen? Your wife has already told me how you got it, but I want to hear it again from you. I'm waiting, Mr. Jensen.
Hope's in your office?
That's right.
Well, this is the truth, Sheriff. I kept the money because they threatened Hope. She didn't know that, but they meant it. And I know them.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Let's go.
Don't move, Sheriff. There are two guns pointed at you. So you told the law, huh, Danny?
No. Now listen to me a minute, Ben.
Listen? Listen to what? He give you our money, lawman?
Your money?
Where is it, Dan?
I don't know.
You don't. Get off that horse. You too, Dan. Take his guns. The sheriff even itches himself. Kill him. The money.
I haven't got it.
Who has? Where is it? Todd, find out where it is.
You're wasting your time, Ben.
How do you know?
Because it's where you can't get it.
Hold it. Where?
Back in Tombstone.
Is he telling us the truth? The money's back in Tombstone? How did you get it? Your wife. I warned you, Dan.
You can't hurt her. She's safe.
Safe, huh? In Tombstone. So you got the money, huh, Sheriff? She brought it to you. Well, Sheriff, we've got you. Tell me, what do you think you're worth? I figured just about as much as you stole from us.
It might not work.
You better hope it does, Sheriff. Sit down. Let's see how well you can write, Sheriff.
You call it.
Being detained. Still alive. Give bearers the money, or I'm dead. Sign it. Clay Hollister. You write well, Sheriff.
You sound like you've had lots of experience in this sort of thing.
Todd, you and Sam take him into town. Get that money back. So if they don't, they've got a dead sheriff.
What do you mean, take him with us?
Just that. Ride right up to the sheriff's office, but one of you stay outside with him. Make it look like he's one of us.
Suppose he tries.
He won't, because one of you is going to be in a position to kill his wife. And I'll kill his friend here for sure. He knows that, don't you, Danny?
Suppose they try and follow us.
They won't. Make it clear. Any tricks is no deal. They never get Hollister.
After we get the money, what about him?
Bring him back.
Yeah, then what?
Well, Danny Boy's going to ride with us for a while.
And?
I'll let you know later. Now get moving. lot of money for a dead sheriff.
You sound real pleased, Ben.
Why not?
Well, the way I see it, the odds have changed. They're 1-to-1 now.
Later the same day, May 20, 1882.
A note from your sheriff.
Being detained but still alive. Give them the money or I'm dead. Clay Hollister. What's the meaning of this?
Just what it says. Hollister, he won't be back. Not unless we get the money. Dan outside. He told me to tell you that.
You're lying. Dan wouldn't say that.
Go to the door. Ask him yourself. But no further. I wouldn't. Because if I don't come out, the others will blast their way in here. And if we don't all come back, you do have a dead sheriff.
Dan, is it true? Is it true?
Do what he says. Give him the money.
You all heard him. The money.
Supposing we do give you the money, how do we know you won't kill him?
You don't. I guess that's a chance you'll have to take. Of course, you've got some time to think it over. I'm giving you 30 seconds, starting now.
I'll give him the money. Can't be any more killing. Tell him to give it to him.
You've only got 15 seconds.
Please give him the money.
Why? What guarantee can you give us they won't kill Clay even if we do?
He said so.
He did.
Time's up. What's it gonna be?
Quint, open the safe. Give him the money. You agree?
Yeah, I have to agree.
You did the right thing.
We'll soon see, won't we?
Yeah. Try anything. Follow me and your sheriff's a dead man.
Maybe they got lost, Ben. Or maybe you've got this thing figured all wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, if your boys like money as much as you do, they might be on their way over the border with it right now.
Don't try that on me, Hollister.
Well, you can't blame them. Everything they know, they learn from you.
Shut up.
Yeah, and once they're over the border, they're rich men. And you? You'll just be a killer who's going to hang for his killing.
I'm warning you, Hollister.
Well, you better do it fast. Because if your boys are on their way back here and my deputy is following them, they might hear the shot. They'd come riding in here.
You're gonna die. I'm gonna kill you right now.
No, you're not. Not until you get your money, you're not. You see, you might need me. They might demand another note before they turned it over to you.
Yeah, you got that figured right. It's getting late.
Frankly, I'm in no hurry for him to get back. The odds are still 1 to 1.
But I've got the gun.
I can wait. Can you?
We haven't much time. Why did you come to the sheriff, Miss Jensen? Who sent you?
No one sent me.
Did your husband send you?
No. And he didn't kill the man in the robbery because he wasn't there.
If what you say is true, he can't be too deeply involved. Not yet. At most, he's an accessory to a robbery.
What are you trying to say?
Only that if you know anything that you're not telling us about the men involved in this, you'd be helping your husband by saying so.
Well, maybe you're right. But there's a man dead. And if Dan had anything to do with it, they might hang him, and I can't help hang my husband.
And what happens to him if Clay Hollister is killed?
I can't tell you anything.
And your husband? You feel you're helping him?
I don't know. All I know is he's alive, and I want to make sure that he stays that way. At any cost.
Tell me one thing. How do you decide?
Decide what?
Who's to live and who's to die? That's what you're doing, you know. And you haven't the right. No one has.
I don't care who lives or dies. I only care about Dan and me.
So you're willing to kill someone who tried to help him and you?
No, I'm not.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Miss Jensen. I don't want to hurt you. But I do want to save a life.
There were 3 men. 2 of them you've seen. I don't know them, but the leader is a man called Ben. Ben Jensen. He's Dan's brother.
His brother?
He has a place out near ours, to the east.
The first place to the east?
Yes. It's best you approach it from the corral side.
What are you doing? Nothing. Let me see it. You think you're smart, don't you?
One to one and no gun.
I like it that way.
I'll get him.
Don't go for your gun, Todd. Forget it. On your feet.
Hold it!
Drop the gun.
Where's Dan Jensen?
He's wounded. The editor's back there with him.
Take care of these two. There's one more inside that I want to see to personally. Editor, there is no excuse.
You know the price of newspaper.
Sheriff, I just came from the hospital and Dan's going to be all right.
Oh, good.
Looks like our troubles are over. I want to thank you.
Well, at least Ben Jensen won't be troubling you anymore. Looks like he'll be staying right here for good.
I'm sorry I had to be so rough, Miss Jensen, but I'm surprised.
You're surprised?
Well, if you thought your husband was being pressured by someone, why didn't you talk it over with him? Like a husband and wife.
You never would have thought he was part of that gang if you had.
Well, maybe it's a lesson that Dan and I have learned. Well, goodbye and thanks again. You wives must be terribly understanding. I mean, for you to be able to tell them everything.
Oh, well, I'm not.
Me either.
I didn't think so.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone